So a founder's first set of supporters can be critical to the early success of the startup. Access to a wider audience gives founder a greater chance of meeting the people needed for them to gain traction, whether it's potential users, advisors, or funders. So these elevator interviews are meant to give the founder broader exposure in a very quick way. I'm very excited to have you, Sarah, with us today. I'd like to start this off with your 90-second soundbite, and then afterwards, Emma, through her lens as an emerging innovator and former student of mine, we'll ask a few clarifying questions, and we'll go from there. Does that sound good?
Awesome.
Great. All right. So whenever you're ready, Emma's going to time you, and then she'll do kind of a visual countdown when it's getting close. Great.
All right. So on the day my mom died, we were getting our carpets cleaned. And I bet that's not where you maybe thought I was going when I started that sentence, right? Even when we refer to things as life or death, like that day truly and literally was for me, I had to deal with basic logistics, like how to let the carpet guy in. And this was only one thing on a long list of big and small tasks that I managed after I lost both my dad in 2011 and my mom in 2015. As an executor, I managed big things like selling our childhood home, closing bank accounts, and shutting down our parents' businesses, alongside small things like donating clothing, finding a notary on short notice, and canceling every last magazine subscription. Despite the seemingly wide gap between these tasks, they were all equally unbearable when compounded by the grief I was feeling. For years, I had to choose between managing these time-intensive, often expensive, and always exhausting logistics or living my own life. No one should have to make that trade-off, and that's exactly why I created LooseEnds. LooseEnds is an online platform that provides structure, support, and guidance to executors and family members who recently experienced a loss. Our action plan walks you through each step. We help you integrate and find time in your life to manage each task. Your dashboard serves as a home to organize everything, and our customer care team can assist throughout. We want you to manage your loved one's legacy and have your well-being intact, not or. So you keep your eye on the important things, and don't worry, we'll take care of the loose ends.
Perfect. Great. Great pitch.
Thanks.
Couple questions for you. First, is there anything already like this on the market? Because this seems like a huge problem. You emphasize the importance. So is there any other venture that's attacking this? And what are the shortcomings of that?
Yeah. So really, you can kind of think about the current solutions to this in two buckets. So traditional solutions like lawyers, accountants, real estate agents, sometimes healthcare workers will help with certain aspects of this, but really what the problem is that, like you can see with my hands, there's kind of gaps between all of these, and they don't talk together. And the person who is dealing with this, the family member, the executor, is really the one doing all the reach out. There's no one who's acting as an advocate on behalf of that person. And that's really where we come in. And then on the digital side, this is still, the death tech space is still very new. It's really only in its infancy. And there are several solutions like Empathy or Lantern, and they are really approaching it right now as an information gap. So what they provide really is access and resources. So giving people the information that they need, but what they fail to provide right now is really acting with a service. So what we found through our research is that people really still want a human touch component, someone they can talk to, someone they can call, and someone who's going to be able to take things off of their plate. And that's really what we're trying to build now, is getting that service piece intact too, so that you can also have this digital space where it houses everything.
Gotcha. Really good answer. Very thorough. And one more question that I have for you. With your venture, where are you at now? Like, what milestones have you hit? Which ones are you expecting? Just give us like a little summary of like where you're at right now.
Yeah, so we're still very early stage. So I'm currently testing out the desire for this type of digital offering that allows you to walk through the process by yourself. And alongside that, I'm also testing out now a consulting type of service that will help with one-on-one and navigating logistics. So right now, I currently have a couple hundred sites, visitors to my website. I've currently got 10 downloads for my online offering, and I have one customer who I'm meeting with next week for a free initial consulting session, and then hopefully turning that into more extended services later on, but still very early.
That's amazing. That's very impressive. Vicky, do you have any questions?
This is definitely a pain point that hits very close to home. I lost my mom many years ago, and would definitely have used your service had I known you back then. So clearly you're not in fundraising mode yet. You're very, very early. But definitely resources are critical at this point. What are some of the things that you are looking for to broaden your network?
Yeah, so right now, my first big ask is that I'm hoping to get more downloads and really just general feedback on my after loss guide. So you can head to my website here and download it after answering just really a couple of questions. And also, if you know anyone who's recently experienced a loss or would be interested just in general in this type of content, it would be great if you could direct them here as well. And then really on top of this, I think if you know anyone who has experienced a loss in the last 3 months or so, who's really currently grappling with these logistics now and might be open to receiving help, I'd love if you could direct them to my website again here and just see if they might be interested in an initial phone call, because those have been really helpful for me in terms of gathering information around what people really need and what they're looking for at this time.
But in addition to helping you in your discovery journey, I'm sure that you can also benefit too, right? Because you'd be able to provide them support and guidance as well as they're dealing with it.
Exactly.
This is a pain point that is very near and dear to my heart. I remember when I was going through it, I just didn't want to deal with any of it until the last minute, and had anyway. So for those of you watching, this is definitely a numbers sort of thing. If you can forward this to folks you know, support a first-time founder, help her get the context that she needs to get more data in her discovery journey. More information will be in the description of this video as well. Thanks so much. Thanks, Sarah, for joining us.
Thank you.